SC Magazine. Sitting beside me is a very well-dressed Jarno Limnell, who is the Director of Cybersecurity at Stonesoft. Jarno, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to be speaking later today at a cybersecurity summit that Stonesoft is putting on here in Midtown Manhattan. And you're going to be presenting a keynote discussion regarding cybersecurity strategy within the military domain, but how it applies to the private sector, corporations, customers, because that's a lot of those folks are going to be in the audience. And we were talking how there's a lot of companies are focusing more on the technical side of security, but they need to shift that mindset more to strategic and operational thinking. A lot of the kind of stuff the military is doing.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's a very important point to emphasize first, because when I speak about activities in different levels, I usually categorize them in 3 levels. It's the strategic level, the highest one, then is the operational level, and the lowest one on the bottom line is the technical or tactical level. And what is happening nowadays in cybersecurity is that this technical level is controlling what can be done and what can be not done in the operational and strategic level. So more or less guidance is going from bottom to up. And one of my main points today is to emphasize that the strategic understanding on the cybersecurity is really needed, because there are strategic losses or wins to be achieved because of the cyber domain. And there should be the strategic guidance to the technical level, how to do issues, what are our main problems, where should we really concentrate on. And this is very important issues for all of us.
And there is a connection between the military and the private sector when it comes to security?
It is, and I have been doing quite a lot of research lately, thinking about, for example, I'm doing the research on the how the military see the future of the battlefield, or even today. And for example, how the militaries in the Russia, China, India, United Kingdom, NATO, you guys, how you should see the future of the battlefield. And I see that many, or I would say all of them, these requirements that the armies are confronting today are more or less the challenges and the requirements when we are talking about the security solutions in the cyber domain, what should be done and kept close eyes on in the enterprise world for the companies. And this is one problematic which I'm going through to the audience today.
Yeah. So when you think about security and kind of how it's evolved, you know, and it probably still is within a lot of organizations, is they're just focused on the traditional defenses, you know, stopping attacks from getting in, but it's really sort of matured from there. You were talking about resilience and even looking at some of the offensive possibilities behind it. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah. When we are talking about the cyber, for example, deterrence in the military world, there are 3 main legs. You have to have as good as possible defense, and in the cyber domain, that has to be dynamic. You have to be almost all the time be ready also to manage the unknowns which exist a lot in the cyber domain. The other issue is that you have to have the resilience, and this is one of the center points when thinking about the cybersecurity in the strategic level, that whatever happens, you don't paralyze. You can continue, you have other options, you can quickly re-establish what you were doing. And the third one is what militaries are of course doing when they are preparing their capabilities for the future's battlefield, is the offensive capabilities. You have to be strong and you have to be able to retaliate if needed. And resilience and defense, that goes straight to the same logic in the companies. And also, I am not saying that the companies should start to make their own offensive capabilities, but what I am emphasizing here is that in companies also, every now and then at least, it's very useful to have this like offensive mentality, to find your vulnerabilities, to train your people, to to find your weak spots, and that's more or less the question of the vulnerabilities, what cybersecurity and the threats are all about.
Yeah, and certainly a lot to come with the offensive capabilities within the private sector, but we're already seeing it within government. Assuredly, Stuxnet, Flame, Dooku, those were U.S. creations, possibly in conjunction with Israel. So already we're launching offensive strikes. Could that lead to a dangerous game to open up on a global scale, or is it important, you think, for a country like the U.S., which wants to exert its military power, to take the lead on those sort of things?
That's a very good question, and that's very hot question also nowadays. To put it very simple, if you want to be a credible player in today's world politics, you have to have strong capabilities to act also in the offensive way in the cyber domain. And one thing what really is worrying me is that the advent of the cyber domain, it's making especially the nation states nowadays more offensive. Because cyber is seen, as my opinion, between the talks and speeches and sanctions, and then the use of the conventional, the hard physical power. Cyber weapons and cyber capabilities are somewhere between these. Mm-hmm. And it's like an easier or softer option for the politicians especially to use cyber weapons, because maybe we don't even get caught of it, because mm-hmm. there's this problem of attribution, and this is dangerous game, and there are lots of different players in the world's cyber chessboard at this moment who are using these, especially the offensive capabilities. And what you said about the Stuxnet and the Dooku and the Flame and so on, they are exposed, but I believe they are only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, no, so much more to come within this space. It's really fascinating. It's going to be interesting to see how the U.S. sort of fits into it all. I'm sure as quite a prominent role.
Yeah.
Jarno Limnell, from Director of Cybersecurity at Stonesoft, I appreciate you being with us and lending your expertise today. So thank you. And we'll talk to everyone again soon. Thanks for watching.